We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble, we're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Well, they call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making more mans. We had the goal since training camp to give Chicago a Super Bowl champ. And we're not doing this because we're greedy. The Bears are doing it to feed the needy. We didn't come here to look for trouble. We just come here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
This is Speedy Willie, and I'm world class. I like running, but I love to get the pass. I practice all day and dance all night. I gotta get ready for the Sunday fight. Now, I'm as smooth as a chocolate swirl. I dance a little funky, so watch me, girl. There's no one here that does it like me. My Super Bowl shuffle will set you free.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while, doing what's right and setting the style. Give me a chance, I'll rock you good. Nobody messing in my neighborhood. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble, we're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm the punky QB known as McMahon. When I hit the turf, I've got no plan. I just throw my body all over the field. I can't dance, but I can throw the pill. I motivate the cats I like to tease. I play so cool, I aim to please. That's why you all got here on the double to catch me doing the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm mama's boy Otis, wanna be kind. The ladies all love me for my body and my mind. I'm slick on the floor as I can be, but ain't no sucker gonna get past me. Some guys are jealous of my style and class. That's why some end up on that. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I'm just getting down to the Super Bowl shuffle.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world.
If Jimmy can't do it, I sure can. This is Steve, and it's no wonder. I run like lightning, pass like thunder. So bring on Atlanta, bring on Dallas. This is for Mike and Papa Bear Hallis. But I'm not here to feathers ruffle. I just came here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm L.A. Mike and I play it cool. They don't sneak by me cause I'm no fool. I fly on the field and get on down. Everybody knows I don't mess around. I can break 'em, shake 'em any time of day. I like to steal it and make 'em pay. So please don't try to beat my hustle, cause I'm just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble, we're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
The sack man's coming, I'm your man. Dent is a quarterback slow, he's gonna get bent. We stop the run, we stop the pad. I like to dump guys on net. We love to play for the world best fan. You better start making the Super Bowl plan. But don't get ready or go through any trouble unless you practice the Super Bowl shuffle.
It's Gary here, and I'm Mr. Clean. They call me Hitman, don't know what they mean. They throw it long and watch me run. I'm on my man, one-on-one. Buddies, guys, cover it down to the bone. That's why they call us the 46 zone. Come on, everybody, let's scream and yell. We're gonna do the shuffle, then ring your bell.
You might be wondering why I'm playing this music video right now. Hassan, you're in France. Why are you playing this music video? What does this have to do with anything? And there is a non-zero likelihood that the new Pope has basically seen this and played it on numerous occasions. So this officially has made world history. Sometimes I like to think about showing a Pope, a member of the papacy from, I don't know, like the 12th century, what the Catholic Church would look like, just to help them develop a different understanding, you know? Hold on, is it the gain is too high? I'm gonna try to lower it. Well, let's see if I'm successful in my initiative here. The audio gain is too high. You're gonna hear some mouth noises too, unfortunately. And the reason for why is because, okay, first and foremost, I'm Hassan Piker. This is Awesome Broadcast coming to you live from coming to you live from France. Vive la France. That's right, we are in the France. And you're hearing all the mouth noises because like I updated my Roadcaster software and it literally won't read it. And just here, this is the problem. Here. It just actually doesn't read it, and I have no way of actually tweaking the gain. So there's no noise gate. There's no noise gate on the Roadcaster software today from the last time that I actually took out the noise gate on my Roadcaster. So they released that song before they even won the Super Bowl. Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter because the new Pope saw it. Anyway, fuck the Brits. Welcome to France. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and ambies, I am in France. Vive la France. It is the Victory Day. Very nice, very cool. Very nice, very cool. I like too much. Very good. And I assume that the audio purpose is going to be extra annoying today. So I'm very excited for that. And there's literally nothing I can do about it, which makes me even more excited. Okay. Paris in France is a mix of tourist attractions and unbearable people. Change my mind, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît, change my mind. Your voice is a lot nicer to hear in these settings, less aggressive and less tiring. Yeah, I am tired, though. Anyway, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HasanAbi Piker between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. So help me God, I will do that. It is 5/8, April 8th, or not May 8th, 2025, and it's 9:30 p.m. here in France. But it's actually it's actually 12:30 all the way back in Los Angeles, California. And let me tell you, the reason why this distinction must be made. The reason why this distinction must be made is because I am in France, like I've said. It's my yearly, once a year familial obligation that I must fulfill, where my parents are like, you have to take us on a family trip. You have to take us on a family trip. If you don't take us on a family trip, it's, actually there's no second thing. They just say, you have to do this. And I say, yes. So that's why I'm here. Must be nice. It's hell for me. I know I'm a spoiled, privileged little brat. I'm the incredibly fortunate person that I can, I have the financial security to be able to do that. But also on top of that, not only do I have the financial security to be able to do that, I can still work. I just don't like it. I don't like going on family trips. I don't enjoy going on family trips. I don't enjoy going on trips at all. This is not fun for me. Okay? I need you to understand. I am not enjoying it, personally, so far. But, yeah, personal news-wise, hello? It already has begun. It's probably my mom who wants my shirt because my shirt got dirty. And she wants to hit it with a cleaner thing. Hold on one second. Here, I'll just play some music while you wait. My neck, because my shit is broken. I have no noise gate, so they can hear everything. And I can't. Yeah, but the Roadcaster is janky because it's not my mom, it's my brother. It's Murat. He wanted to come say hi to chat. That's it.
Well, I wanted to hang out with you too, but it sounds like that's not happening.
Well, yeah, no, it's not. Unless you want to sit here as I talk about India, Pakistan, new pope, and numerous other newsworthy items that I'll be getting to.
I'm more interested in the fun stuff.
Well, there's no fun stuff because I was just telling him how spoiled I am for having the endless bounty of being able to go anywhere I want in the world with my family on a moment's notice, and yet how much I hate the experience overall because on the table that was pretty fire. My mom got the duck leg. That was also really good. My dad got the French onion soup, which wasn't, it was amazing, but it still wasn't that good in comparison to... Onion soup. Yeah. Yeah, we don't call them French fries out here. We call them fries, right, Murat?
That's right.
Yeah. They call them freedom fries out here. So, oui, incredible, amazing food. It was so good. So good. And, yeah, that's it. I got on a plane after I ended the broadcast, almost didn't make it on my flight. He was on a separate flight. I literally, he was flying out on a separate flight, and because and his flight was like a little bit later than mine, we hatched up a scheme. Well, Murat hatched up a scheme where I stopped the Uber in front of his gate, where I dumped my checked-in luggage with him, and he took the checked-in luggage because he could still check it into his flight, but I was just like right at the precipice of being able to check it into mine, and I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it to the check-in. So that's what we did. And then I got on the plane, and of course, my bed was broken. My bed was broken, which, you know, it is what it is. Didn't really get a lot of sleep. That's also, it is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, I watched The Eternaut. So good.
Is that why you were telling us about that movie?
Yeah, this is the TV show. The Argentinian TV show. I broke it. Yes, I'm fat. Okay? I'm fucking fat. I broke the goddamn bed on the goddamn plane. Like the lie flat seat that is supposed to be able to lie flat was not lying flat because I broke the motor. Because
What's wrong with it?
I think, and this happens to me all the time, I think I'm too heavy. Like, I'm not even kidding.
You're not even that heavy. And also, you can always just get up and let it move and then sit back down.
Yeah, it wasn't working this time. That's usually what I do. Because the motor the motor is not, the camera shook because I touched it with my foot. I'm doing it again.
The motor can't handle the dumper.
Yeah, and usually what I do, being Amerifat, is I'll stand up and I'll let the bed do its thing.
You'll ask for the manager?
No, I'll just stand up and like move the bed, but I couldn't do it. It just wouldn't move. So then I had to manually do it with the air stewardesses there. It was embarrassing. But then afterwards, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you something for your inconvenience. Like, I hope you had a good flight or whatever." And I was like, I tried to channel my Austin, but I couldn't, because Austin is so locked in moments like this, where he'll know the right things to say, and I could not channel my inner Austin. And I was just like, "Yeah, it wasn't the best, but it's okay." And I tried to be like, "Oh yeah, I was fucking awful. Like, you know, I couldn't sleep. My back is busted."
You need to pick up some phrases from it. Words like
I know it. Yeah, or make it right. I know it's not your fault. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. That's another one he says. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I couldn't. No, it's fine. It's whatever. It is what it is. And then the lady was like, "Oh, don't worry. We're gonna give you like a make nice type situation. We're gonna give you a compensation for this." And I was like, "Okay, sweet." And I was like, "Well, you know, I'm flying back. Maybe I can get an upgrade. You know, that type of situation." And she was like, "No, you're gonna get 200 euros."
Wait, who is telling you this? The person on the
The person on the plane, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty limited.
Yeah, no, she left the iPad with me, so I actually did do something mischievous where I checked the button because it says like compensation button, and I pressed it to see like what are the options, and it just said 200 euros, nothing else. Like that's I think the maximum limit that they have.
I mean, it all depends, right, on escalation. But so on the flight, there's a bunch of stewards and stewardesses, I guess, flight attendants. And then there's a head purser. That's like the head of all the flight attendants, especially on the European flights. So that's the one you want to be talking to.
I don't know. Maybe she was that one, but basically, I got 200 euros in my.
So we're flying to Europe, which means the European flight rules apply.
Oh.
They have like different compensation things. But
they might have better. They might have better. Europe probably has better consumer protections than America.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a Austin topic.
Anyway, I do need Austin, but unfortunately, I'm here.
Aren't you sad you brought me here instead of Austin?
Yeah, I brought Murat instead of Austin, which you guys can hear clearly because there's no fucking noise gate on my mic. Because the last time I used the setup, I actually turned off the noise gate so we could hear all of my guests, and that was a mistake because now I need a noise gate because it's just me for the most part. And I can't even switch the noise gate back on because the Rodecaster application is not working. At least the Rodecaster Rode X is working, though. So that's good. Is
Rodecaster really the name of it?
Rodecaster is the application. Rode X is the name of the hardware. And the application is not working. So.
If only Marsh was here, man, to pull it out of his suitcase.
Okay, shut up. Yeah. Rode. Let me Google this. Maybe I can find it and troubleshoot it. Rode X
Software.
Rode X software not connecting. What is this? Rode Streamer X. How to actually fix it.
I think this is still the best device for streamers, solo content creators, and anyone who wants to enhance the quality of video conference by connecting a good camera and microphone to a compact device. And guess what? It has zero real competitors, especially when you consider the price point, amp for a high quality filter, built-in customizable sound pads for triggering effects or latency monitoring.
Okay.
Truly game changer for content quality. I tried the device at
How
all.
to actually fix
and
it.
Guess what? I'm not alone. If you check Rode's support site, their main solution is pretty basic. Just use the included cable and connect directly to your computer. Avoid any hubs. So I tried everything they suggested. I used original Rode cable, connected directly to my laptop, avoid any hubs. Nothing worked.
What's a
I was
hub?
ready to pack it up and back to my old setup. But then I tried something completely counterintuitive. I found the old USB hub collector.
Oh, it's on a...
The fucking room is on an auto timer for lights, bro. Can you go turn it on? I don't know why it does this. Like, I don't know how to... I'm gonna die, bro. Like, it's so... It is actually pretty crazy that the room will... Nope. No, turn those on. No, go hit the master. Wait, it's on, but it's flickering for some reason. Oh, it's good now.
You're so dramatic.
Okay. No, it's not one of those rooms where you got to put the room key in because I literally don't. There's no place to put the room key in. What the fuck?
That light bulb.
Oh, one of the light bulbs went out. It's back on. Okay. It's gone again. What is happening, bro? What is going on?
Bro, this is an old ass building. It's haunted. They didn't want to tell you, but that's why you got the room upgrade.
That's annoying. Okay.
Anyway, my theory is that Rodecaster is not really the software for this.
Collecting dust on my drawer, and
No,
I tried
it's
this
the-
one.
it's
So
the right
here's
software.
what I did. I took the standard USB-C to USB-A cable that comes with the device, plugged a basic USB hub into my laptop, connected the Rode Streamer X through this hub, and something magical happened. Everything started working perfectly. No disconnections, no dropped frames, instant recognition every single time. But wait, it gets better. I want to try something even simpler. I tested a tiny USB-A to USB-C adapter, you know, those small dongles that cost like $2. Guess what? It works just well. What's really interesting is that after this fix, the device is recognized instantly. Nothing disconnects randomly. No frame drops. All features work.
You don't have this problem.
Everything is plugged in. It's powered appropriately. It does have power cycle issues where if you don't actually power the thing with a direct connected power, it will. I mean, if you don't plug it into the wall, basically, it'll have issues because like the specialty cable that they give you, I have a USB-C to USB-C cable. I have it. It literally doesn't work when it chooses not to. Yeah. I have this thing. It sucks fucking dick. Yeah, I mean, I have a Rodecaster Pro 2.
Dude, this thing's great first
At home, but this is really good for how with the size. Like it's incredibly compact. I run my video through it. I run my audio through it. The only issue that I have right now with it is that unfortunately it's just not the application is not recognizing it, and because there's no dials on it, with the exception of like lowering the gain. Because there's no dials on it, there's no way to there's no way to tweak the noise gate.
Yeah, and like you said,
I already restarted my computer. Shut up! And I'm not gonna restart my computer right now, chatter. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, and you used to have to carry a Go XLR and a capture card and your microphone's falling, like, and a bunch of cloud amps and a bunch of random shit. And like this is way more efficient. Your microphone, dude.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not the best. What?
You need to tighten those screws.
I know how to do it, brother. God damn. All right. It is what it is. Have you tried asking Grok? No, I have not tried asking Grok. Different USB port might. No, I've tried both of the USB-C ports that are readily available. At least one of the USB ports should always be on. Should be always on. What do you mean?
Like when you turn off your computer, it still supplies power to it, but that's irrelevant to your problem.
Yeah. Anyway, ask Grok, bro. I'm gonna ask Grok.
Who's Grok?
It's the fucking Twitter AI. Chatters, they're trying to piss me off. What's wrong? It sounds fine. You're just going to hear background noise. That's the problem. And mouth noises. That's it. Like this. That's the issue. Like if I fart, I have to mute the goddamn microphone. You know what I mean? Like these are the types of things that... C-Mac, you're disgusting. Oh my God. C-Mac. God damn, dude. What the fuck? Anyway, whatever. My merch came. Hell yeah. Hope you like it. All right. You be farting on stream? Sometimes, yeah.
Just hold it in for...
How
do you think those guys who filibuster do it?
We have white smoke? What? Oh. Oh, come on. Chatters, bro. Bro. That's fucked up, man. That's not the white smoke for the Pope, okay? That's not the white smoke for the Pope. You guys are fucking assholes. Anyway, that's it. That's my personal news. All I did was wait, hold on. Yeah.
Did you watch a movie on the plane?
Yeah, I watched The Eternauts, and it was really good. It was really, really good.
Did you sleep?
I slept a little bit, but not a lot, and that's why I'm so tired right now.
Should have been on our flight, bro. We slept really good.
Yeah, well, I didn't, so it is what it is. And my back hurts, and my back is tight. What does this Pope election will bring to American exceptionalism? It's over. We are Americanizing the whole planet, okay?
We're number one.
Yeah, we're number one. No one else is even number two. Chicago, Pope, unlocked, Pakistan, ex-India.
You know, Chicago considers themselves the Midwest. You should say Midwestern Pope unlocked.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to say that, though. I mean Paris, Chicago Pope unlocked, Pakistan ex-India.
Baguette eating challenge.
Did your toxic airplane farts? I didn't even fart that much this time. I actually didn't fart at all this time.
If you want, I can go on a 20-minute tangent about airplane farts.
İbrahim abiye darbe yapmak için Macron'la konuşmaya geldin değil mi? Doğru söyle. Ha, İbrahim Traore mi? Yok. Reis. Severiz. Severiz İbrahim abi. While I'm out here, I will not be doing IRL streams, but I might do a link up with Mélenchon. No, I did not. The Knicks defeated racism last night. Well, that was pretty crazy. Twice in a row. Not a good time to be a racist in America right now. I feel like white supremacy is taking a real beating.
Wait, is the new Pope white?
Yeah. What? Are you worried? You're like, oh, we need to keep the white papacy integrity.
I was just curious.
Last one was Argentinian. It's the most like Latin American you can be while still being white. And now we got a white. This one's
Has there been
this one's
white popes? I'm sure there.
I mean, they all were not white in the past when they were all Italian. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Chicago Pope unlocked, Pakistan, India, drama, news, and more.
All right, I've reached my limit.
Get in
Good seeing you,
now. All right, can you give that shirt to my mom? It's on the chair.
This one? Oh.
Yeah, the one I spilled on. Thank you. Chicago Pope takes over Italy. This means the Chicago deep dish pizza is officially a more pizza than an Italiano pizza. I mean, look, I've had pizza in Italy. Pakistan, India drama? No, I didn't say Pakistan/India drama. I said Pakistan x India, and then I said drama separately. All right, we're spamming. Mods, remove the spammer. Mods, why is he spamming? Well, yeah, here it is. The new Pope in all her glory. Does your mom do your laundry, Hasan? I thought you were so hot. No, sometimes. No, I just have I have like a little blot on my shirt, and she says she has like a whiteout or something. Like she can just like get the thing out. All right, yeah, and yes, I am a mama's boy though, if that's what you're asking. All right, first Americana Pope elected. Let's take a look.
Annuncio vobis
I announce
gaudium
to you
magnum.
a great joy.
Habemus papam.
We have a pope,
Eminentissimum.
the most eminent
Ac reverendissimum
and a
Dominum.
reverend.
Dominum Robertum Franciscum,
Robert
Sancte Romane
Francis,
Ecclesiae,
Cardinal of the Holy
Cardinale
The first
Eos,
American Pope has been elected. Cardinal Prevost.
Qui sibi nomen in
Okay, technically, not to be that guy, but Pope Francis was also American. He was the first Yankee American, like as in from the United States of America. But because we're so U.S.-centric, we're just like, what the fuck? Why does this happen?
Posuit,
Who has chosen the
Leonem
name?
Decimum
Well, Cardinal
Quartum.
Prevost, the
Leo
first
the 14th.
American Pope in history,
First American
Chicago-born, has been elected as the 267th successor of St. Peter. Cardinal Prevost was the leader of the Vatican's office for the dicastery of bishops, the Vatican's dicastery for bishops. He is someone who spent many years as bishop in...
Look, see? You see this? It's going to be unbearable today.
Peru as a missionary in Peru. He was Bishop of Chiclayo in Peru. He was the leader of the Augustinian order, which is a worldwide religious order. He is known as an experienced and wise leader who can bring together people from different points of view. I can see there Cardinal Supich from Chicago, who looks quite happy with the news. This is really an extraordinary moment.
This is an extraordinary moment, and of course, I sit here as an American. Whatever it would have been, I think you can't but moved to tears. But this is stunning.
Leo the 14th.
Leo the 14th.
Now that's
is his
significant.
name.
Pope Leo the 13th, a pope of Catholic social teaching, of Catholic social doctrine, a pope who stood up for workers, a pope on the side of the poor. And Cardinal Prevost, Pope Leo the 14th, I should say, has chosen that name. That is a big statement. That is really an extraordinary moment. We all thought, people were thinking it was going to be an Italian.
Yes.
They thought they were the front runner. But as we said, as I reported, an American was not ruled out. They were looking at American.
And you were saying this was possible. It was only today when...
Big mistake. I think it's crazy. Yeah, 69. Nice. But I feel like we're cooked. It was cool when the Vatican was separated from America, you know? And now we put our grubby little hands in this shit, too. He's anti-gender ideology. He's a registered Republican. That's fake. I mean, I know he doesn't like J.D. Vance. He's written about J.D. Vance. I think he's a never-Trump Republican. The very fact that he was a Republican at all kind of sucks, though.
It moved as fast as it moved that everyone said, well, it must be an Italian. But let's just say this again. Cardinal Robert Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, is an American, currently Cardinal from Chicago, and is now the first American Pope in history. Let's watch Leo XIV coming out. Let's watch.
It was not on the short list we looked at. They cooked us. How could they have done this to me? How could they have done this to me? How could they have done this to all of us? Terrible, terrible, terrible day. Let me see. I'm going to tweak it and try to make a noise gate here real quick on the fly. Off of my open threshold, close threshold. Let's see. Let's see if I can make a noise gate here. Attack time, 0.8. No, 8 milliseconds. Let's see. Oh, not even 8 milliseconds. 0.8 milliseconds. Hold on. Hold time, 200 milliseconds? No, 20 milliseconds. And release time is also 20. Let's see how this works. Is this good? I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working. I think you can still hear I think you can hear all this other shit in the background. I don't think it's working at all. Yeah, normally you shouldn't be able to hear the snaps. Anyway, whatever. This is the guy Libs are calling woke, by the way. This Pope isn't woke, is he? I mean, he was chosen by Francis. Like, he was one of the people that Francis chose, but Francis sometimes would do like a little bit of centrism. He has some woke qualities, but he's nowhere near as woke as Francis. Francis was a socialist. This motherfucker is an American. Okay? Now, I'm not giving party affiliation too much thought. I'm just saying he's American. And I think Americans are gross. Americans do not have a understanding of the world, but the only saving grace with this Pope is the fact that he lived in Peru, dual citizen, for years and years in his life, so maybe he has a better understanding of like the plight of the global South, and that's part of the reason why I think he might come across as more woke than some of the other choices. But like, the reality of the matter is, America-fying anything is going to be bad because Americans have a very limited understanding of the universe. Fucking life went on. That's crazy. Chat, is this dick riding? You should be chanting, USA, USA, USA. We don't even deserve it. Like, we as Americans don't deserve to be anywhere near the papacy. Like, we are the worst Catholics on the planet. We abide by very few of the rules of Catholicism. Our Catholics, by and large, resemble Protestants, which is disgusting. Yuck. And now we got a fucking American Pope. I mean, his only saving grace is he's also Midwestern. He's at least from Chicago.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Peace be with you all.
Fratelli, sorelle carissimi.
Dearest brothers and sisters,
Questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto.
this is the first
Il buon
greetings
pastore
of the
che ha dato
resurrected
la
Christ,
vita per il gregge di Dio.
the good shepherd who has given up his life for God. And I should also like this greeting of peace to enter our hearts. And
wait a minute. Is this goddamn Pope Mexican? What the hell? Speak American, goddammit. You're from Chicago. Why in the hell is he speaking this Mexican language? Hold on now. Hold on now. This Pope better not try to come back to America. I'll deport his ass. I'll report him to INS so fucking fast his head will spin, brother. Yee.
And your families, and to all those people, wherever they are, all peoples throughout the world, peace be with you.
Questa è la pace di Cristo risorto.
This is the peace of the resurrected Christ, a humble and perseverant peace which comes from God, God who loves us all unconditionally. Let us keep in our ears the weak voice of Pope Francis that blesses Rome.
Tries to keep asking if we got an woke Pope. No. He's a more of a, I guess, uniting figure. A little bit of a centrist Pope. A little bit for the woke guys and a little bit for the broke guys, you know? As far as I've read, Pope Grave, which was established specifically for this, says, Pope Grave's opinion is that Robert Provost was elected because he's an American who can stand against Trump and wield American influence in the face of rising fascism. Our new okay. Our new Pope has spoken against Western leniency towards LGBTQ+ individuals and against gender ideology in Peru. He was accused of mishandling sexual assault investigations against priests in his diocese. As a lesbian Catholic, I'm disappointed, but I'm here to remind... The internet was a mistake, man. Why is this your source? It's not. I mean, I think it's funny. I never realized how much your Soundgate save does. You should go back to realizing it and acting like it is saving us. Okay? Fuck. What are these ads, man? We'll go through the issues in depth. I just wanted to give a shout out to Pope Crave because I find it pretty crazy that it exists. Like, they made a Pop Crave, but for the girly pops that want to know about the Pope craze. Amazing.
The Pope, who blessed Rome, gave his blessing to the world, to the entire world, that morning of Easter. Allow me to follow up on that blessing. God loves us. God loves everyone. Evil will not prevail. We are all in the hands of God. Therefore, without fear, united, hand in hand with God and amongst ourselves, let us go forward. We are the disciples of Christ. Christ goes before us. The world needs his light. Humanity needs him like the bridge to God and his love. help us and all others to build bridges with dialogue, with meeting, to be one common people, living always in peace. Thank you to Pope Francis.
I'm disappointed. I really wanted Tag Lee. I really wanted Pinoy Gang. I was actually stoked for Pinoy Gang to rise up. For all my Swagapinos out there, I'm with you. I see you. I hear you. I feel you.
Pagtatanggol mo naman.
Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be real. They will not be pushed aside and turned into your own. Oh, cause you won't listen. Running my own lawn. And I'm trying to say what you should.
Sasagot naman si Kiefer.
Oh, now I'm done believing you. You don't know I'm more than what you made. I followed the voice you gave to me.
Magagalit ka ulit.
But now
Magagalit si Maki.
I don't.
Ate ka ulit.
But I'm moving on.
siya.
If you talk,
Sasagot ka ulit.
if you want, who this melodious, then
What are you watching? What are we watching? Is that where the question is? Swagapino greatness. That's what the fuck we're watching. We could have had the karaoke Pope. Someone said it sucks that these kids are just gonna end up being nurses. Or somehow, somewhere along the way, they will end up working in some sort of seafaring capacity. Swagapinos are a seafaring people. They will find themselves on a boat somewhere. Could be the Navy, could be a Carnival cruise ship, could be the crew of the Galaxy Leader ship that gets overtaken by the Houthis. There's always going to be a Swagapino on the boat, though. God damn. Or a community basketball league? Yeah. I play with the Swagapino boys, the Unks, on Sundays. Let me tell you, they ball hard. They got the coolest Filipino jerseys too, like the Filipino basketball jerseys. Anyway, we could have had that, but we couldn't because that would have been too good. And the world is not ready yet. The world is not ready for karaoke mass. Okay? And also, I don't even know Tagley's track record. I mean, I know he's like a little bit of a socialist, but he's Pinoy Gang, so he's LGBT LGBT plus. I'm not even talking right. Okay. He is pro LGBTQ plus because he's Filipino. That's how it is.
I should also like to thank all my cardinal brethren who have chosen me to be the successor of Peter and to walk with you as a united church, always seeking peace and justice, seeking to work with men and women who are faithful to Jesus Christ, without fear, to proclaim the gospel, to be missionaries.
Sono un figlio di Sant'Agostino.
I am a son of St. Augustine, Augustinian.
Che ha detto,
Augustine who said,
con voi sono cristiano e per
with
voi
you I am a
vescovo.
Christian,
In
and
questo
for you
senso
a
possiamo
bishop.
tutti
And I think in that sense we can all walk
verso
together
quella patria
to that
che- la quale
homeland,
Dio ci ha preparato.
that home which God has prepared for us.
Alla Chiesa
To the Church
di Roma, un
of
saluto
Rome,
speciale.
a very special greeting.
Dobbiamo cercare insieme come essere una Chiesa missionaria.
We have to seek.
I'm sorry, dude. This is like some forces should not be disturbed. Like, for example, if America started competing in Eurovision and won, that would be a disturbing event. It's like that's supposed to be your thing, not our thing, you know? So something about this doesn't feel right. We already sent Israel into Eurovision as our fucking envoys to ruin the whole thing. But this is basically like direct intervention. It's like if America won the UEFA or something, you know what I mean? Like, that's not supposed to happen. The lip smacking makes me want to smash my phone into a million pieces with a hammer. You should do that on your head. There's nothing I can do about the lip smacking. If you take issue with it, you should smash your phone with a hammer or directly into your head. I don't know what it is about chatters that go, I'm just not,
Together to be a missionary church, a church that builds bridges and dialogue, always ready to accept, like this great piazza with its arms. We have to show our charity, presence, and be in dialogue with love. And I'd also like to say a greeting in Spanish to all those who,
because misophonia sucks sadly. Okay, fucking tap out, dude. Tap out. Shut the fuck up. My point is shut up.
and particularly to my dearest beloved diocese in Peru, where a faithful people
it's like, yeah, misophonia is annoying. You know what else is annoying? Talking about how your misophonia is preventing you from being able to watch. Yeah, if you can't watch today, you can't watch today. Normally I have a great noise gate. I've spoiled you silly. I've spoiled you silly with my incredible noise gate. So the one day that the noise gate is broken because, and there's just nothing I can do because the fucking application of the software I use is busted and it's sometimes janky, you don't have to cry and complain about it. Like, no one else will actually look to your statement and go, wow, you are so brave for being here. Thank you. You were such a victim. No, everyone just thinks you're fucking lame. Shut up.
accompanied their bishop to share their faith with him, and who has done so much to be a faithful church. To all you brothers and sisters of Rome, of Italy, of the entire world, we must be a synodal church, one which goes forward and which always seeks peace.
This is, you know what's crazy about this, by the way? I know their asses don't have real misophonia because the goddamn translator is also constantly smacking his fucking lips. And they're not complaining about the translator at all. They're just complaining about me because they're little bitches who just want to fucking be heard. Okay? The entire time I was waiting. Is anyone going to talk about how the translator is also smacking his goddamn lips into the fucking microphone? No, they're not. They're not complaining about that at all because they don't give a shit about it. They just want to be fucking annoying, okay? Yes, I'm a misophonia-phobic streamer.
Charity and to be close to those who suffer. Today, this is the day of the supplication to the Madonna of Pompeii. Our Mother Mary always wanted to accompany us and be near us, to help us with her love. And I should like to, therefore...
America really be thrusting their dick and balls into every crevice of the world? I know. No, this just feels weird, man. It feels wrong. I mean, I know this guy has a focus in the global south. This is a big market for Catholicism. It's like, you know, it's important. It's an important emerging market for Catholicism at a time when, like, most of the developed world has moved past Catholicism in general. So they have to be pro global south. But the fact that he's American is just, like, irredeemable in my eyes. Am I an America hater? Is that what it is? Do I just, like, despise my own country and my own countrymen? Is that, like, am I an anti-American racist? I feel like it's not. I feel like it's warranted to feel this way. Luce la bubu con la buena, Pope. Drop the merch. Oh, we want a la bubu. And we wanted the Pope to be a la bubu Pope. The Pope will be from Chicago. Sounds like a 1880s Republicans' dire prediction for if we don't stop Irish immigration. Do they mean the first U.S. Pope? The last one was American? Yes. That, for the record, that right there, that interpretation right there is unironically part of the reason why I'm like, ugh, Americans, we're involved in this too now. Like, yeah, the first The fucking last pope was also technically American, but this one is from the United States of America. So now everyone's saying this is the first American pope. First American pope. No, the last one, I think, was the first American pope, actually. This is the first North American pope, but that distinction in and of itself is yet another representation of American hegemony, American power, and how we operate around the world. Don't worry, Felix Gauzy, you're back. Oh, yeah, I saw his tweet. He said, we cannot have a pope that attended University of Chicago. He didn't, by the way. Stop the steal now. We need to storm the Vatican and find the real ballast. They cannot stop us all. False alarm. I was misinformed. I apologize to anyone who died storming the Vatican and all the Swiss guards. Pope, but he's perfect. This was great, too. We have come to a decision, Mr. Biederman. Release the smoke. And then he vapes it out. Does anyone have that vid from a song stream where it's Felix blowing smoke from the Twin Towers?
Responsible for violating the Leahy Act? What do you mean? They should put fucking Joe Biden under. Anyways. Yeah, he was just blowing smoke.
He loved that.
Do you think Trump will be held responsible for violating the Leahy Act? What do you mean? They should put fucking Joe Biden under the prison for violating that then. Like.
He's everywhere somehow. When is my king coming back on the broadcast? Brother, your king's in New York, and I am in France.
Pray together with you. Let us pray for this new mission, for the entire church, and for...
Favorite part from yesterday's stream?
Also, once again, chatters, you think she was like, oh, yeah, is that Rosa Parks right next to my pussy? Sign
Hell
me right
yeah.
the fuck up. No, she's like,
Talk
okay.
about Blackpink.
Yo, Christian. Yo, Christian. Oh, my Christian, bro. Oh, fuck. No.
Lisa fans are mad at you. I love Lisa. Fandoms need to know I'm a Lisa girly. That gagged you. It was diabolical. It was also bars. Like, what? It's such a good joke. No one should be mad at that. Because if the joke is good, then it's appropriate. Everybody knows, okay? K-pop Twitter found this clip. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
That was so good.
Wow.
But so wrong. Also, once
that whole stream was the antidote to these last 3 weeks. We got hopefully more fun segments. What are U.S. residents supposed to call themselves? No, I mean, I say I'm an American, chatter. I know. I understand it. God punished him for that joke by passing over the Pinoy Pope. Can you explain the joke, please? Lisa was underwater for what fans suspected was a controversial garb choice for the Met Gala, where people zoomed in on the embroidery on the outfit that she was wearing that Pharrell put on her, by the way. So if you're gonna yell at someone, yell at Pharrell, not my Princess Lisa. But they were saying that it's like some of the embroideries were Rosa Parks, so she had like Rosa Parks like down there in her panties. And my first reaction to that was, why are you looking at her panties, pervert? That's your fault. Your fault for looking at her panties. I didn't, so I didn't see it. But then secondly, I was like, well, it's not her fault. Pharrell put those clothes on. Last but not least, turns out it's actually not Rosa Parks. But the joke is, I was saying, what do you think? You think Lisa just was like, oh, Rosa Parks right next to my pussy? Thank you. Sign me right the fuck up. And then Christian said, I guess that's something along the lines of making a reference to Blackpink, which is the K-pop band that she is a part of, but also making a reference to pink being the vagina and black being... I don't want to finish this statement. Sometimes I think if you're too autistic to understand a joke, I'm not going to autistically respond to you and explain it. I've realized that this is one of those moments. I think I shouldn't do that every time. If you don't understand the joke, sometimes it's okay to be outside of the club and not be in it. I do try to. Why was the explanation needed? No, there's like legit people who don't understand the fucking jokes. This happens so much. It happens so much. It happens all the time. People will be like, I just don't understand the joke. And I feel bad. There's nothing worse than feeling like everyone is laughing at something and you just didn't understand the joke and now you're just sitting outside going, ha ha ha, ha, that was funny. But deep down inside, you're like, what the fuck are they laughing at? Is there something wrong with me? I've been in that situation a lot in my life, which is why whenever a chatter comes in and goes, I didn't understand this joke, I literally turn on my, this is a ableism friendly stream, or not ableism friendly stream, this is an anti-ableism stream, and I will immediately start explaining the fucking joke. And it makes it so much worse. Okay? It makes it so much worse. It's so much better to never explain the joke. Okay? And honestly, I gotta stop doing it. I know I feel bad, but I can't stop myself. But I have to.
For peace in the world. And let us ask for this special grace from Mary, our God.
Ave Maria, piena di grazia.
Hail Mary, full of grace.
Tu sei benedetta fra le donne, e benedetto
Amen.
il frutto del
You are
tuo
blessed
seno,
amongst all women, and blessed be the fruit of your womb.
Madre di Dio, prega per noi peccatori.
Holy Mary,
Adesso
pray for
nell'ora
us sinners,
della nostra morte.
and be present at the hour of our death. Amen.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so tapped out of like all this religion stuff. Like, it's exciting to watch from afar because like Catholicism's crazy with it, with all the bells and whistles. But perhaps I should not say this, but I do sometimes see people that are very religious, and I think like, I don't know how we live on the same planet, is like in the same plane of existence. Much respect to people. This is not disrespectful at all. I always say, like, people believe in crazy shit, crazier shit than well-established organized religion, at least that's been a domineering force on the planet in terms of, like, creating some semblance of social structure. But I cannot understand that. Like, it does not fit in my brain. I feel like there's something so wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. But I see people that are like praying, and I'm like, that's like, I've thought about this statement, you know, everyone finds God in the trenches or whatever, you know, in a manhole. What's the saying? It's like a fake saying about war. In a foxhole. Is that what it is? Everyone finds God in a foxhole. And it's like, there have been so many moments in my life where I was like, shit is really fucked up, and there's never been a moment where I was like, I hope there's a higher power that'll fix it. And I don't know what it is. I wish no atheist in a foxhole is the statement. Yeah, you know, a motherfucking religious person made that statement, because I feel like atheists are so goddamn annoying. They be in the foxhole being like, oh, my science saved me. That's what they be saying in the fucking foxhole. Only religious motherfuckers think like, oh, there's an atheist in the other foxhole. I bet he's praying to God right now. No, he's not. He's being fucking annoying. He's telling the enemy combatant about how God isn't real, and you're stupid for believing in it. Okay? Yeah. He dug the foxhole, and he was thinking about science the whole time. He's like, oh, my ration. Oh, my logic. That's what he's doing in the foxhole. Being fucking annoying. Yeah, gun to his head. You know what? Yeah, gun to their head. They're probably thinking, I'm about to be proven right. They're thinking in their last moment, I bet the other guy that they just executed who was religious thought that I was praying to God, but he was wrong. Boom. I'm not praying to God. What now, bitch? Boom. Dead. He put that fit on, bro. He put that shit on. He put that shit on. We're back, by the way. We're back to crazy, lavish Pope, by the way. Classic American, lavish-ass Pope. Look at fucking Francis. Francis came out in a deliberate choice in this garb, and he always presented himself like this, deliberately. He was unironically also the annoying type of socialist that's like, you claim to be a socialist, yet you don't live in a box. Francis was like, nah, I'm a socialist, and I'm living in a box. Like, he was that kind of dude. He literally, he's like, yeah, put me in a fucking wooden coffin. I don't want nothing else. Fuck is wrong with you, dude? You could have maybe entertained the Vatican jet a little bit, you know? That's because he's Catholic, not socialist, though? No, dude, are you kidding me? Really? Catholicism and popes famously did not live lavish experiences? Are you insane? We're talking about the Catholic Church. No, it was because he was fucking... Chatter is right. I mean, look, there are obviously some popes who lived by the sword like that, but I feel like when I think about the broader history of the Catholic Church, an ascetic lifestyle does not come to mind at first. Okay? And yes, this is another thing that I say all the time, which is like religion in general is teaching you a whole bunch of by force, teaching you a whole bunch of like be nice to other people, sharing is caring, values like that would be mostly attributed to socialism and certainly not to capitalism. But many people have not followed those rules, even aesthetically follow those rules as far as Pope Francis did. Prior to capitalism, Catholicism in Europe has always been about dressing your status in society.
So it's been an afternoon and evening of high drama here at St. Peter's at the Vatican in Rome. At about 5:10.
I love Channel 4 because they bring the exact same intensity to every single thing that they're covering. They could be covering the new Pope. They could be covering like Israel bombing Lebanon. Or they could be covering the Westminster Dog Show. And it's always like, we're out here in the Westminster Dog Show and it's absolutely electric. Things are going completely out of control. Somehow UNRWA is also involved in the process. Israel has blocked UNRWA's participation in the Westminster Dog Show. Back to the studio. And then you got the brown dude grilling like the Westminster Dog Show jury being like, well, why did you say that UNRWA is Hamas and the participation was barred? And then the Israeli envoy's like, it's because the dogs that UNRWA wanted to bring were Hamas dogs. We found out, which is why we killed them. We killed the dogs on the way to the Westminster Dog Show. It is anti-Semitic.
Time we had the announcement that there was going to be a pope, the white smoke. Then an hour later, we had the name of the pope himself, Pope Leo XIV. His name in normal civilian life is Robert Prevost. He is a cardinal from Chicago, 69 years old. He spent a lot of time in Latin America. He speaks fluent Spanish. And when he addressed the crowd today, he spoke in Italian with a slight American accent, then in very good Spanish, but he did not speak in English, even though he is the first pope to come from North America in the papacy's 2,000-year history. He offered a message of...
Bro, you can't have a pope named Bob, dude. Big L. Big L for Catholicism. Hey, what's up? I'm Pope Bob. And he's from Chicago. Of course he's not going to speak English, man. It just bricks the immersion. Thousands of years of history just thrown in the toilet. We had to put our stink on this too. We couldn't let this be. We could not leave this shit alone. We had to ruin this too.
Peace and of humility, and the atmosphere here in the square was just incredible. Let me show you how the afternoon of high drama, theater, and faith unfolded here at the Vatican. Perhaps they knew something. At just after 6 Rome time, the conclave delivered.
Is he talking about the birds?
White smoke. They were oblivious, but the square below erupted. Joy in a... It took just a day and a half to find a new pope who will now lead the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. Many had thought it might take because of divisions in the church. So the pope was elected on the 4th ballot, and the bells are now ringing. The smoke is still hanging in the beautiful afternoon air, and of course we're now waiting to hear who it actually is. They will be able to declare, Habemus Papa, we have a pope.
It's unbelievable. I'm from Boston.
You're from Boston?
Just came in today.
How do you feel?
It's very good. Very, very.
You're from France?
Yes, of course.
You think it might be the French cardinal?
I don't know. We wait. Yes.
It's very emotional to be here. Today's my birthday. So for me to experience a moment like this, it's just wonderful.
Who do you think it'll be?
The Asian, I guess.
Tadeu?
Yeah.
The Filipino?
The Asian. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. The Asian one. That's me. That was my level of interest in the whole Pope game. Americans were chanting USA, USA. Oh, we're so dude. Driving down the fucking beautiful windy roads of Paris earlier before I got on this broadcast, I was thinking like Americans unironically would look at this city and be like, yeah, this place is actually poorer. This place is actually poorer and worse than my random American suburb. And we're so backwards. We're just like an incredibly backwards people. We are the barbarians.
The Filipino.
All right, okay. That's
Yeah.
what you want?
I think so. Yes, absolutely. And I hope it goes with the line with supporting the poor, like the Pope.
Yeah,
And,
Francis. Yeah.
Yes, Francis. Yes, and to do the same line.
Let's see if you're right.
Yes, let's
Maybe
see.
you are.
I think it is. It's just like it should be automatically disqualifying. Call me a purist, but it should be automatically disqualifying to let a pope know what deep dish pizza is. Okay? Like, if you've ever had Portillo's, you should not be allowed to be the pope. The cardinals really did not consider that. They weren't like, Mamma mia, has this cardinal, has he ever had a deep dish of pizza? That would have, if that question was presented at any point in the conclave or whatever the fuck the conference is called, it's called conclave, right? My brain is not working. Okay. Like, then that should have stopped this process dead in its tracks.
Maybe you're not right. Who knows?
No, but God select him, whoever it is, and we will be happy.
¿Cómo se siente?
Nos sentimos llenos.
We are so full of the same Holy Spirit.
I will, by the way, be in Chicago after France. Instead of going home, I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to be speaking at University of Chicago. So I should probably really moderate my Chicago slander. I don't want fucking the pro-Israeli protesters to join up arms with the pro-Chicago protesters. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a speech. I'm gonna do a thing with Ested Hernan at University of Chicago. Yeah, this time instead of the 27,000 emails sent to USC to get me to stop from speaking there, we're gonna have 37,000 emails sent to the University of Chicago from the Malort enjoyers. Okay. From all of Chicago's finest.
It moved the cardinals to make up their minds so quickly, this Colombian priest told me. An hour after the white smoke, the curtains of the grand balcony of St. Peter's moved, and we had a name.
Cardinalem Prevost, qui sibi nomen imposuit Leonem decimum quartum.
Pope Leo XIV, also known as Robert Prevost, born in Chicago, 69 years old. He spent much of his time doing pastoral work in Peru. He speaks fluent Spanish, and he's been in charge of appointing bishops here at the Vatican. But he is also the world's first North American Pope. In his first address, he spoke to the square, to the city, and to the world about the need for humility, and that he will try to speak to everyone, everywhere, against evil and for good. 2 Americans are now in key positions of leadership around the world, and one of them is called Trump. The next months and years should be interesting, perhaps even challenging.
By the way, American Catholics included, that spent the last 12 years shitting on the fucking Pope and being like, the Pope's irrelevant, who gives a fuck, are now going to magically turn around, at least if like this Pope Leo, if he's even a little bit like pro-America or reactionary, all of those like who cares about the Pope guys are gonna be like, whoa, what do you mean? That's the Pope you're talking about. That's sacrilege. They were calling him an agent of Satan when he died. The previous all the people that were calling the previous Pope the agent of Satan are going to turn around and be like, well, we're a Catholic nation. You know how it is. Except, I still suspect he's going to have a reactionary slant to a certain degree. He's not going to be like Francis, but maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I am. But he is a never Trump Republican, I think. So they're already calling him an agent of Satan.
La pace sia con tutti voi. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace.
I would like that this salute of peace enters in your heart and reaches all families, to all people on earth.
I just don't want to hear from an adult Catholic convert about this. You know what I mean? Whether it be JD Vance or all of those like Peter Thiel funded podcasters who are like, I have vocal fry and art history degree, but I also like saying slurs and I'm a Catholic now. Like I don't want to hear from them. I don't want to hear from them. I feel like they're gonna fucking be even more unbearable. They're gonna be nuclear unbearable. Oh my god. Dime Square is so back. Dime Square is so back with this new pope. You think the new pope would go to Dime Square? Fuck.
May peace be with you.
Click this right now. We need the dramatic reading. Wait, Spike Lee posted about the new pope and connected it back to his beloved Knicks. The Vatican voted in Robert Francis Prevost as their 267th pontiff. He is the first pope from the United States of America, born in Chicago, Illinois. And for my New York Knicks fans, his alma mater is Villanova University. Brunson, Hart, and Bridges won NCAA rings at Villanova. What a holy blessing. The Knicks are gonna win the 2024-2005 NBA World Championship. It's divinity. God bless. And that's the holy truth. Ruth, you dig? Chicago, the 7th borough. That's wild. Knicks got the heavens mandate. You heard it here first.
Extraordinary scenes here in the square below me. So what do we know about the new Pope Leo XIV, a Chicago-born cardinal who spent most of his life outside the United States, including more than a decade in Peru? And by the way, President Trump has just posted on social media that he's delighted it's an American Pope and he hopes to meet him soon. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Here's Harry Fawcett on Pope Leo XIV.
Just yesterday, Cardinal Robert Prevost entered conclave as a contender, but far from a front-runner for the papacy.
How the fuck did he win then?
Of course, this was never supposed to be a contest between men, rather a manifestation of God's will, guided by the Holy Spirit. Beneath Michelangelo's ceiling, behind the chapel's heavy door, his candidacy gathering momentum to make him Pope Leo XIV.
A tu servidor et Papa Francisco.
In his favour, Prevost had been seen as a potential compromise if the leading papabile, the possible popes, were failing to receive sufficient support. A reputation as a quiet, discreet, thoughtful listener, appealing, it seems, to a broad range of his fellow cardinals. But his nationality was seen to militate against him. The idea that a global church's spiritual leader would come from the world's temporal superpower was something that until now had seemed a bar to an American pope. Prevost, though, is a dual national with Peruvian as well as US citizenship. Born in Chicago, he spent many years of his career in Peru, first missionary, later archbishop.
What? Steve Bannon was the only one who knew about him? No.
I do think one of the dark horses, and I think, unfortunately, he's one of the most progressive, is Cardinal Prevost. I don't think he's getting enough play. He is certainly on the short list as being, and I think it's pretty shocking given how the contempt they hold the American church. The American church gives so much money, they're afraid it has too much power. So they've never really wanted to have an American pope. But my understanding is Prevost is one of the ones closest to Francis ideologically. He's also had tremendous experience in Latin America. And so he's one of the ones on the short list. I'm a big believer that Cardinal Sarah from Africa would be a perfect selection right now for this moment in the church. But I will tell everybody, this is anybody's game right now between Parolin, one of the traditionalists. You have no earthly idea how this is going to turn out. That's why I think this run up is so important. And it's interesting that.
Dude, what? Okay, all right. Well, now I'm more convinced that it's the Antichrist. Now I feel like, no, Steve Bannon, knowing who you are is so bad. So bad. Urgent, the Chi-Town Pope just delivered his first address in English. All right, listen up, see? This new gig as the Pope is something else, you know? But don't get it twisted. I'm still going to root for the Bears every Sunday, no matter what kind of fancy hat I'm wearing. And if anyone tries to tell me deep dish ain't the best pizza, they can take it up with me after Mass. Kabish. Hashtag Pope Watch says cummies.
That's ironic. It's going to take place. It's going to kick off, I think, on the either the day of or the day before the 80th anniversary of victory in Europe. So it's
Bro, he even nailed the fucking timing. Dude, what the fuck? Bro, he got it right. Why did he get everything right? I hate that. That's so scary to me. What does he fucking know? No. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Was he there? Did he don the fucking suit? Did he just like sneak in there? Not a ball knower? Bro, this is beyond knowing ball. What's that like Illuminati group? The Illuminati group that's like in the fucking Vatican?
May the Christian Lord guide my hand against your Roman popery. Prepare to receive the true Lord.
Yeah, Opus Dei.
very symbolic of what's coming together here in the first part of May.
It's not Opus Dei anymore. It's called Opus only because they eliminated DEI. Get it? Opus Dei or die, brother. I don't want none of that. It's not Opus Dei. It's Opus CIA.
Made a cardinal less than 2 years ago. He was supportive of Francis's attempts to integrate women into decision-making roles in the church, is believed to have similar views on the environment, on embracing the poor and migrants, and on reforms such as allowing divorced Catholics to receive communion. He's been less outspoken than his predecessor on LGBTQ issues and has spoken of the need to combat secular media narratives that paint Catholic ideology as unfeeling or cruel. An Augustinian from a more reserved, more intellectual tradition than his Jesuit predecessor, Pope Leo was more formal in his initial address.
I am a son of St. Augustine, who said, I am a Christian with you and a bishop for you, and in this way we can all walk together.
His choice of name, Leo, redolent of his 19th century predecessor, known as the Pope of the Workers. In that, there's continuity with Pope Francis, but he's also a precedent breaker, the first American pope, and at just 69, one who may lead the church for many years to come.
Harry Fawcett reporting. Well, joining me now here at St. Peter's is the Canadian writer and academic Randy Boyagoda, who's also a professor at the University of Toronto. He's written widely on Pope Francis and met him on 2 occasions. Randy, it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So this is a big deal, right? First North American pope. Any pope is a big deal, but...
You said it exactly, Matt. Any pope is a big deal. Number 266 is a big deal, and this is the first pope from North America, from the United States more specifically. That's a major event.
And someone who Francis, bless him, would have been quite proud of, I would have thought, because he was very much appointed by Francis. He spoke the language of Pope Francis when he was on the balcony.
Yeah, very much so. Francis made him a cardinal 2 years ago only, so a relatively new cardinal.
Yeah.
And then during his time as a cardinal and as a bishop from Peru, then Robert Prevost was involved in a series of major initiatives at Pope Francis's invitation, including being responsible for the appointment of bishops all over the world. That's a major sign of support from the then Pope to the new Pope.
So he was also very much an insider here in Rome in the Curia, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Media making up shit as the continuation of Francis? No, I mean, Francis did put him there. It's not like... I don't think he was... I don't think he's like super antithetical to everything that Francis stood for. But I will say it's hard for me to expect anything positive from an American, you know? So we'll see.
Very much so. You know, I think he's on 9 different dicasteries, and so in that sense, he is very well connected. But I think that the really
he knows the machinery.
He knows the machinery, and he knows the bishops. He knows the bishops all over the world because he was involved in assessing candidates to become bishops. That is a major feature of being kind of well-known and well-respected here in Rome.
I noticed that when he was on the balcony just half an hour ago or so, he cried a little bit.
Yes.
Are those tears normal when a pope is first appointed and announced?
You know that after the man accepts the role, he's taken to what's called the Room of Tears.
Yeah.
And it's meant to suggest the enormity, the loneliness at times of what's before him.
I feel like American Catholics are... I've said this already. American Catholics are Protestant coded, which is why I feel like this whole thing is like tarnished.
I imagine that was just a very human response, whether joy, pain, who knows, but I think just a very clear sense that this is a living, breathing, believing person now leading the church.
So there was so much talk about divisions within the church beforehand, conservatives versus reformers, the geographic divisions of the global church, and then they just took 4 ballots.
Yes, that's
what does
right.
that tell you?
Well, 2 things. One, you're absolutely right that a 24-hour conclave with such a diverse group of electors, most diverse in history, that tells you something. That tells you that that college of cardinals wanted to consolidate around someone and make a statement quickly that this is a unified church.
Because they were worried about the splits becoming a schism, I guess.
Yeah, well, or just a few days suggests that there's something intractable on the inside, you know? But the other thing, and I think this is the genius of the selection, not just an American, not just someone with Rome experience, not just someone from South America, but also someone who chose a name from 125 years earlier. That's also interesting.
So we're in the building that belongs to the Augustinian order, and he's an Augustinian himself. And of course...
Why do they never pick like a cool name? You know what I mean? Like, why do... Like, you got all the names to choose from, and you got to go with like a previous pope name? I don't know. Like, Leo's cool too, but I'm saying like Pope Rizzler, okay? Really boost the image of the Catholic Church. Show the rest of the world that you are keeping up with the times. Like, what's up, guys? I'm Pope Rizzler. Next pope is Pope Skibbity. Why do they never do that? Why do they always got to go with, like... Why do they always got to adopt the names of previous popes?
You know, Pope Leo, the previous Pope Leo, was known for his own humility, or being the workers' pope. Tell us about the last Pope Leo.
Yeah, so Pope Leo XIII was one of the longest popes in history, and he was known actually for 2 major things. One was an encyclical called Rerum Novarum that affirmed workers' rights, that affirmed trade unions, that affirmed all these different mediating institutions between the state and the individual person.
Right, so he's very much trying to continue that tradition with that name. So President Trump has already tweeted, or whatever he does these days on social media, he's delighted it's an American Pope. He wanted an American Pope. At one stage, he put himself out as a possible Pope.
Right, of course.
It's a bit of a joke, slightly off colour. What's that conversation going to be like between Robert Prevost, now Leo XIV, and President Donald J. Trump?
Well, you know, I think the significant insight would be that then Bishop Prevost was in Peru during a time of incredible instability in terms of a series of presidents of Peru that kept falling and rising. And people in Peru looked to the bishops as a source of stability in a time of chaos. You see where I'm going with this?
I know where you're going.
Right?
Okay.
And so I think that's what we'll see here.
All right. Randy Boygo, the professor from Toronto, thank you very much indeed for coming on the program.
I'm sorry. This is the most demonic shit I've ever seen. No disrespect. Sorry for coming off like I'm a heretic. But this literally is the scariest. This is the 1810 earliest born person ever captured on film. Pope Leo. Oh, come on, bro. Really looks like a Bloodborne villain, dude. That's wild. What? This is some straight Bloodborne. AI slop? No, this is... no, they upscaled it. But the footage, I assume, is the earliest footage ever captured of the... Is the earliest born person ever captured on film. I always wonder what, like what goes on in the mind of a person like this. Like, this guy made this account, wrote this in the chat. Like, what, you think this is gonna, like, ruin my day or something? Like, I don't give a fuck. It's not required to change name, but popes often choose the names of their immediate or distant predecessors out of respect, admiration, or recognition to mark continuity, but also different names to mark innovation. Yes? Okay, well, mission failed spectacularly for you. You have to come up with something much better than this if you want to actually make me upset. You are the reason why nobody cares about Palestine law. Okay, chatter. Once again, not good enough. You got to give me something good. All of this is terrible. Yeah, if you wanted to piss me off, you could have just came in here and been like, as a long-term subscriber, I cannot stand when I hear your mouth noises. You're very selfish for not caring about misophonia. Like, if you actually want to piss me off, like, coming in here and being like, you're a subhuman Muslim and the reason why people don't care about Palestine is because of you, like, that shit's not going to work. It's never going to work. You know what I mean? That, like, what I hear this a million times over. What really fucking grinds my gears is when dumb fucks come in here and start complaining about misophonia. Okay? I can't stand that shit. Oh, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad thinking about hypothetically a chatter coming here and saying that shit to me right now. That's what pisses me off. This shit you'll never get me with that.
Documents we can expect you to announce here at the White House. Say it again. Is this the first of many trade agreements? You got to move it to poor camera.
No, we'll do others for the White House. We're working on 3 of them right now, trade agreements. We're doing 3. And you just left Tiger. You saw Tiger. He was fantastic, great champion, great guy. But you know, we'll be doing a lot of the signings. They would like to do them in the Oval Office.
Mr. President, are you sure that the UK will take American chlorinated chicken? That deal has not been done yet.
What is that?
Are you sure that the UK will take American chlorinated chicken? That deal has not been done yet.
We're changing all of that, but we have it both ways. You know, we have it both ways.
Wait, what? We're forcing the UK to take chlorinated chicken. Remember I was saying this is a joke? Like, I was like, what are they going to do? Force European countries to lower their food restrictions, like food safety inspection standards? Turns out, yeah, that's unironically what the plan was. That's great. Congratulations. Congratulations to Europe.
We'll have somebody great. We'll have somebody great. I really thought he was terrific, but we are doing so many different things right now that we couldn't be really focused on it. He's a wonderful guy. He's going to have a great future, maybe with us.
Who are you guys on it?
What's next?
Mr. President, are you planning to meet the Pope in the near future?
Mr. President.
They've already called. When is that? Do you have a timing in mind?
They have already spoken to us, and we'll see what happens. But again, to have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor.
Sir, have you asked before? Sir, had you...
I'm watching, and they said he's from America. I said, that's great.
Are you going to call? Are you calling?
Jack it up all the way.
Have you met it before?
I don't think so, but we're having very good conversations. Very, very good.
Mr. President,
the violence in India and Pakistan, Mr. President, is that going to derail your country?
Actually, I hope not. Thank you.
Mr. President, Pakistan, is that going to derail your trade deal?
Ardoni O'Sullivan recently met with one podcaster and content creator who considers himself a traditionalist Catholic. You might be surprised to what he is preaching online. Here's Doni's report.
We're rolling, yeah. This is where you go live.
He liked women's lib. John Paul II, it said some really evil things. Because women should develop economic skills. Why? I mean, why? The ironic thing is some women do, like you actually kind of have.
This is Timothy J. Gordon.
Do you get a lot of hate?
Some. A lot's really happened in the last 3 years that has helped to normalize and pave the way.
As you might be able to tell from his home decor, Timothy is a Christian. In fact, he's part of a conservative Catholic movement known as traditionalism.
Basically, society is kind of the matrix. If you look at it from outside the matrix, everything is wired to make women think that they can be independent. And women aren't.
Oh my God. What a strange way to view the world. That's crazy. He just hates women. Like, that's it.
Aren't independent of men. And this is, Bible teaches us this. St. Paul says it in 3 places. Women are by their nature dependent on men, and they're happy that way. And they get miserable when they're forced to be the main character acting like a man out in the world.
Bro, look at these tiny ass bananas.
Timothy is part of...
I've never seen a banana like this. I don't know what the fuck. I want to see what it tastes like. What's up with... Did bananas get like shrinkflation in Europe? Do the Europores not know what a real banana looks like? Is this a different type of banana? Looks average to me? Okay, chatter. You don't have to reveal that. That's average. Big, actually. This is the tiniest banana I've ever seen. I didn't even know they made him this tiny. Tastes normal. This is so tiny. Am I crazy?
of Manosphere, a group of online influencers that tell young men they need to fight against feminism.
There's some competing iterations of how to restore masculinity. You've probably heard of, Andrew Tate, and those guys offer a perfectly valid critique of feminism.
The woman must learn that her man is an iron mountain and the easiest path is to obey.
But Timothy says people like Tate are not helping.
They're bringing solutions to these young men that aren't true. And they're saying, sleep with a bunch of women, contraception and birth control. There's basically feminism for men. March has turned out to be International Women's Month.
Timothy has 8 kids and preaches an interpretation of the Bible that is rooted in patriarchy. He hosts a podcast which his wife Stephanie sometimes appears on.
Now, my wife doesn't have to be a follower of any of all men, but every woman is literally called in 8 places in the New Testament to follow her husband under pain of sin. And that's the way it's good. That's the way she should.
Dude, like doing Bible studies just to find a new way to shit on women is so crazy. Like, he couldn't just be like a regular misogynist. And it's not enough that like most religious people of every different background will have a healthy dose of misogyny baked into their collective consciousness. This guy had to specifically be religious for misogyny. Like in the same way that slavers would use the Bible to justify slavery. That's crazy to me.
Her love for God.
Mike Lewis is the founding managing editor of the blog Where Peter Is, a site he says was set up in part to respond to American traditionalist Catholics' attacks on Pope Francis. Like Tim Gordon's argument is it's there in black and white in the Bible. Women are there to serve men, men are dominant. There is a patriarchy.
Well, I would classify that as a fundamentalist point of view. The Catholic Church has always been very clear that it is the Pope and the bishops in communion with him that authentically interpret Scripture. And this is wholeheartedly rejected by figures who are into this Catholic version of the manosphere.
Pope Francis was deeply unpopular with manosphere Catholics like Timothy.
The worst pope in the history of 266 Roman Catholic popes.
And among broader traditionalist Catholics like Steve Bannon.
And we stand in absolute defiance of this pope. The Vatican deep state is the mother of all deep states. The movement of conservative Catholics, traditional Catholics, even people, young people going to the Orthodox side of Catholicism, is one of the great developments in the 21st century.
Mike is worried what the traditionalists and so-called manosphere Catholics could do to the church in America. Tim Gordon, and I've seen others, basically say that they're seeing an uptick in young men picking up the Catholic faith because of these very traditionalist, extreme views on women.
From what I've heard,
I'm not gonna lie, the Catholicism has fallen off because back in the day they would just kill these guys. Like, you can't do that. That's the whole deal. Look, I'm looking at it from the outside. I don't give a fuck, right? But like, you can't be Catholic and just be like, I don't fuck with the Pope. Like, the Pope is wrong. What do you mean? No, that's not how that works. Okay, you're gonna get killed now. Like, have fun. What do you mean the fucking Pope is wrong? That's God, dude. That's a reflection of God. He's giving voice to the God. The fuck do you mean? No. It don't work that way. All right, bring up the crosses. We're cooking these fools. What is this? Bro's been playing too much Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Actually, I literally downloaded Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 because I loved the second one so much. I went back to the OG. It definitely, I mean, it's still pretty good. It's just like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is one of the best games I've ever played. So it's hard to come close to it. It's like, it's a jankier version of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
it is a trend. I've seen reports of conversions due to this. I think there are a lot of disenfranchised young males who are looking for something.
Yeah.
My concern is that in a lot of cases, it's due to an alt-right ideology that isn't in line with what the Catholic Church teaches.
As for Timothy and other traditionalist Catholics, they view this conclave as one of the most important in the Church's history.
What happens if
the next pope is like Francis?
It will be catastrophic for the church because if there's another Francis prototype, then it'll probably mean schism in the church.
Antonio Sullivan joins me now. So what are Timothy Gordon and others who believe what he believes looking for in a pope?
Yeah, they clearly want a far more conservative pope than what Francis...
Dude, yeah, he's gonna nail his posts on the fucking door of the church. And it's all about how women ain't shit and they deserve less. Okay? My man said we're gonna invent a new type of Catholicism. There's gonna be a schism in the church, but this time it's like we gave women too much. The Nelk schism. Oh, 99 theses on misogyny. Yeah, more like 99 feces, dude. Fucking dookie opinion having ass. Ay, ay, ay.
And look, a lot of this goes back to the traditionalist movement within Catholicism has been around since the beginning of the church. A lot of this goes back to pre-Francis to the 1960s, to the Second Vatican Council, otherwise known as Vatican II, which brought in things like having the Mass in local languages, in English and in Spanish. Traditionalists, people like Timothy, people like Bannon as well, actually want to revert back to having a Latin Mass, a Latin-only Mass. So there's
which has obviously been a big
it's been a big thing.
Issue.
And so you have this debate happening in terms of like how conservative or traditional the church should be. And then we see people like Timothy tapping into this new world.
Yeah, there's another thing that they want to go back to, which is blaming the Jews. They're like, the church has fallen out of favor. We're not blaming the Jews enough. We got to get back to that. This is the Bolshevik Catholic Church.
This sort of manosphere, and really, you know, Timothy is a Catholic. He's well read on it and everything else like that. But what we're seeing is this strain within the manosphere of basically men who are looking for a reason to be dominant over women, and finding this version, or as Mike Lewis would say, they're really a subversion of Catholicism that preaches that yes, the patriarchy is a good thing, and yes, you should be dominant over women.
That's fascinating. Tony Sullivan, thanks very much.
Air raid sirens and the sound of explosions have run.
All right, last thing I want to see on the J.D. Vance, once again saying the newest craziest thing he's ever said.
The president said, maybe American kids should have 3 dolls instead of 30 or whatever the number was. Do you agree? Do you tell the people of this country that you need to make some sacrifices in order to reorganize this bad trade relationship?
Well, I think the president's point here is that, yeah, we do need to become more self-reliant, and that's not going to happen overnight, and it's not always going to be easy, Martha. But what I'd ask people is not whether they want $2 or $5 or $20 for their kids. I'd ask American moms and dads, would you like to be able to go into a pharmacy and know that the drugs your kids need are actually available to you as an American parent? Would you like to, God forbid, if your country goes to...
Because we're going to make sure that's not happening either. J.D. Vance signaling all of the other areas where shortages will take place.
A war and your son or daughter is sent off to fight, would you like to know that the weapons that they have are good American-made stuff, not made by a foreign adversary?
What is he saying, bro? Why is the Antichrist saying, prepare for war, it's coming? I don't like that.
What President Trump is talking about is bringing self-reliance back to the United States economy. We haven't...
So the president said...
I don't get it. He's just saying it's wartime, baby. But don't worry, when your sons and daughters go out to war, they'll have the best weapons readily available. American-made. Hell yeah. American-made weaponry, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about a dang thing. Trump poised to announce Gaza ceasefire deal. Trump is expected to announce a comprehensive Gaza ceasefire plan by the weekend. U.S. official to Israeli Hayom. The proposed deal aims to end the conflict without fully meeting Hamas's demands, offering a partially cooperative approach from Israel. One option being discussed includes Hamas's involvement in Gaza's future civil administration. Another option under consideration is granting Hamas leaders immunity from assassination to secure their agreement. Netanyahu must decide whether to take the risk, potentially triggering a coalition crisis. Reminder that last time Israel broke the ceasefire, the U.S. backed their breaking it unprovoked, by the way. Yeah, they did do that. I don't trust them. Also, explosions rock Jammu as India, Pakistan trade blame for attacks, drones, and blackout. Everything I've seen from this, look, I'm watching Western sources, so they're not exactly favorable to Pakistan. Okay? Let's be real. They're not super fond of India either. But everything I've seen from Western sources on this has been like, India is baying for blood. They're making it seem like India is, like, I don't know if this is an accurate assessment of the situation or not, but it unironically feels like India is looking for way more out of this. I don't know. I'm becoming more and more conspiratorial on the issue. It makes me feel like, it truly makes me feel like it's not just Modi doing this because like there's a lot of momentum that he can gain out of it, but instead there's like something that is a little bit scarier afoot. And what I mean by that is, if I'm going to put my conspiratorial hat on, this is their like 9/11 moment, except they've literally had a 9/11 before that was way more severe than this one, and yet they've chosen this as the 9/11 moment, and they're trying to do to Pakistan what America did to the Middle East, but you can't because they're somewhat evenly matched. So it makes me feel like they're using 26/11 is the OG 9/11 for India. My conspiracy is America's egging India on so that Pakistan can be drawn into conflict, so that China doesn't have ease of access through Pakistan as an area to reach the sea and as a way to engage in a network of global trade. I feel like America's telling India, like, yeah, go off, kings, do your thing. We're gonna fuck China. That's my tinfoil hat conspiracy. Not entirely aware of it. Not entirely aware of whether or not this is the interest. There's also no way that China would allow India to actually occupy Pakistan without even discussing the nuclear escalation. Yeah. India and Pakistan Twitter is also doing conspiracies on a HasanAbi head. Indians think I'm a Pakistani agent. Sri Lankans and Pakistanis think I'm an Indian agent. All of them have lost their fucking minds. Good luck. Of course. Situation is utter madness right now. You cannot rely on any information coming out of the subcontinent. India mainstream media is fucking lying about things like capturing Islamabad. I don't think America's egging India on. The hatred and madness is completely organic. No, I think there's real anger and real resentment and real madness. But India egging it on, I don't know. Like the Indian government egging it on. Because like even their initial response was kind of wild. But they claimed it was a restrained response, a restrained retaliation. But it doesn't seem like it's ending. And I don't know. It's just like, at a certain point, you're supposed to have, if you're the leader of a nuclear nation trying to egg on war with another nuclear nation, you're supposed to think this through. You're supposed to think this through, and you're supposed to behave in a manner consistent with like caring about 1 billion plus people and not just deciding like, no, we're going to go to war with another country. The reason the French, or probably the whole West, is paying attention to Pakistan being able to shoot down the Indian-bought French jets is they likely did it with Chinese-made air defense. If Chinese can shoot down one of Europe's best fighters, this is deep sea all over again. Yeah, that's the other side of the story. The French-made jets that India was using got fucking obliterated by Chinese missiles. J-10C, baby. Dongfangs, dude. Holy fuck. It might also mean that developing countries beyond Pakistan can look to Chinese military tech and see it as credible. Don't have to rely so hard on the West or Russians. I don't think the Indians are in a rush to admit this for obvious reasons, but the West is to take this seriously if the Chinese military is improving its tech rapidly. Fake news. Wait, what? You call Modi a Hindu fascist, but I've never seen you call it the Pakistani government when they're just as bad, but just Muslim. Pakistan is an Islamic republic while India is a secular country. Dude, first of all, I have called out the Pakistan government many times. I call out the CIA all the time. Okay, what do you mean? It's like half of my commentary is talking about how CIA is awful. Having said that, hilarious that you would say that India is a secular nation or India is a democracy or any number of different things. It's like, okay, dude, yeah, so is Turkey. All right. Yeah, Turkey, the secular nation of Turkey. Would you think Turkey is still resembling the qualities of a secular nation due to its leadership? Not due to the population and their interests, of course. I'm in Lahore, PK right now, and the biggest conspiracy is that PK Army and Modi are in this together. Turkish ships docked in PK a week before this even happened. Some say it's benefiting from Modi's political campaign. Honestly, the situation is not at all okay right now. The media, even in Pakistan, is not covering the real damage. Please see this message. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, two nuclear nations should not be behaving this way. Why do you think Indians believe the government propaganda so much? I mean, it's the same as fucking hogs in my country in Turkey and the hogs in my other country, America. They're hogs. That's it. When you believe your government's propaganda through and through, and you say like, oh, you call Modi a Hindutva fascist, like he's not. He's just a leader of a secular nation, the largest democratic country on the planet or whatever. Yeah, you're a fucking hog, dude. The propaganda worked on you. You are not exercising critical thinking. Turks do it too, trust me. I know, and so do Americans. I cover those hogs all the time. Turkey supporting Pakistan in the situation is also unique, which adds another layer of complexity. And I think maybe even shows like America's cards a little bit, because Turkey is just like Pakistan, ironically enough. Turkey is another Muslim nation that does America's dirty work, and especially more than Pakistan, as a matter of fact, like a lot more. Wait, what the fuck is this Indian news? Oh my God. Summary from Indian News Report. Port of Karachi has been destroyed. Lahore, Islamabad, Peshawar are all under heavy bombardment. Pakistani Army Chief is fleeing the country. Pakistani Army Chief of Staff Asim Munir is fleeing the country. They've taken over Islamabad. They've taken over Lahore. They've taken over Peshawar. Breaking news.
पैनल के साथ में मौजूद है अनंत, ओवर टू यू।
बिल्कुल राहुल जी, और कराची बंदरगाह की तस्वीर आपने दिखाई और खबर ये भी आ रही कि पेशावर में
What? I mean, that's fun. This is fun. Dude, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. This is cool. I like this. This is how we should do the news as well. Just like fucking make shit up. Make shit up. Just be like, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out America nuked Beijing. We nuked Beijing. It's over. Shenzhen is also over. Shanghai also over. We've destroyed the Three Gorges Dam. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting reports that Xi Jinping has fled the country, has escaped into Japan, and has actually offered to be Donald Trump's retainer. Folks, I'm getting reports that the Republic of China is back. Taiwan has overtaken the mainland, all the way into deep Mongolia. Everything is China once again, united under the banner of the Republic of China. The PRC is no more. They've done it. They've done it. Taiwan, they did it. The Mad Lads. You're in the Philly D. Thombo? For what?
Hasan stood out so much. The report actually analyzed some of his viewership data specifically to sort of paint a picture of a left-leaning American news streamer. And interestingly, while Americans make up the biggest chunk of his viewers,
wait, what is this report? I didn't even know.
Streamer. Same plan I use. But then, next up in the news, Donald Trump has been fantastic for live streamers, specifically political live streamers. You know, while we all could kind of guess that and feel that that was true, this new report titled Politics and Live Streaming, it says not only that that kind of content had a 56% spike in...
Wait, why am I there with Modi? Where is Asmongold? He's the one who's the breakaway star in this. Why are they pointing to me? My numbers have not actually fucking gotten like that much larger as opposed to other times when I was doing politics 2 years ago. There was a moment where my audience dropped and then it rised again, but it's not like I was always like a 30K to 40K Andy, and I'm back to being a 30K to 40K Andy. If anything, it's Asmongold has been popping off with the politics shit.
Viewership in 2024, but also the bump from last year's election has continued into this year, and there's been sustained growth. Because according to the report, in the first quarter of 2025, political content nearly matched the volume of gaming streams on Twitch, accounting for over 11% of all content watched. And if you look at the data over time, you can see that in the first quarter of this year, political content was watched for 3.4 billion hours, which yes, is a slight dip from the previous quarter when the election took place, but if you compare it to the quarter one of 2024, there were only 2.6 billion hours watched. So we're talking about a pretty pretty substantial leap from last year. And as far as where people are watching it, Twitch is the largest share of political streaming channels, followed then by YouTube and then Kick. But also YouTube, it dominated hours watched, taking up nearly 98% of that pie. And as the report explained, this is because different platforms attract different kinds of streams. And adding that at first glance, this imbalance might seem odd, but it actually makes sense, saying the vast majority of political content on YouTube is produced by major news outlets that often broadcast 24/7 and regularly attract thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of viewers. Twitch, on the other hand, lacks these heavyweight viewership drivers, saying instead it's home to hundreds of passionate creators who occasionally dive into political discussions more like passerby commentators and deeply engaged political videos, but active nonetheless. Whereas to YouTube, it's getting a massive lift from mainstream news outlets that live stream their broadcasts or presidential press conferences and other major events. Whereas, Twitch, it hosts more of an independent creator-led charge. Right, so it then makes sense that the biggest streaming channel on YouTube Live was Al Jazeera. But then when you hop over to Twitch, Hasan Piker is the most watched political creator there. And this is on Rumble, the crown.
Wait, what? Bro, I'm sorry. They don't factor in Asmongold in this equation at all. They literally did not put the largest political content creator on the platform on here.
Crown went to Right Side Broadcasting Network, with the report then kind of noting that while there are exceptions to every rule, you can sort of see a political divide among platforms, with Rumble specifically popular among the right and among alternative political bloggers. Whereas on Twitch, it has a bigger segment of those who lean left. And then, because when it comes to individual political creators, Hasan stood out so much, the report actually analyzed.
What is this? Asmon doesn't see himself as a political commentator. He's apolitical. That's crazy. Does no one think racism is politics? Like, unironically, they just think like if you're just saying racist shit, people just go, "Oh, that's not political. That's just like a guy being common sense, doing common sense." Is that what it is? I forgot my apolitical hat today. If I were to just wear that all the time, I guess they'd be like, "Oh, he's not political." It's because Asmon doesn't stream with the politics tag. I'm pretty sure he does. He has to. He'll get banned if he doesn't stream with the politics tag.
His viewership data specifically to sort of paint a picture of a left-leaning American news streamer. And interestingly, while Americans make up the biggest chunk of his viewers, they still account for less than half of those who watch it. Or with them taking up around 48% of the share, then you got Canada coming in at 9%, the UK and Germany at around 5% each. And in general, it's a pretty international audience. It also makes sense that international viewers are flocking to American creators because, Americans have such a large presence on these platforms, accounting for 23% of channels and then followed by India at under 11%. And then, as far as why there's been such a substantial increase in people streaming political content, the report noted, as global tensions rise and political discourse becomes increasingly polarized, the demand for real-time information and commentary has never been higher. And adding, live streaming platforms have emerged as crucial spaces for audiences seeking not only news, but also interpretation.
You know what's funny about this too? Like, motherfuckers will be like, "Oh, dude, you love when controversy happens because everyone pays attention to the news." I'm like, bro, just because you're not in here when news is boring doesn't mean I'm not covering the news. I'm doing that regardless of whether people are watching or not watching. That's just, I'm doing that no matter what. Okay. People themselves will be like, "Well, I'm tuning in more frequently. Must be because this guy's grifting or whatever." It's like, no, dude, if I was grifting, I would just not do the news when it's fucking boring and be like a video game titties commentator. And then when the news is hot, switch over to video game titties commentary and then also a shit ton of Trump is base commentary. That's what a fucking grifter would look like.
Debate in a sense.
I mean, I'm literally on family vacation and I'm covering the news.
Connection. This is something that politicians are at least kind of leaning into. And in general, it's going to be very interesting to see how this continues to evolve over the next 3 to 4 years. Not only because the political space has been expanding and changing dramatically, but also as we've seen play out.
You fucking narcissistic fucks are grifters, you egos. Bro, calm down. Okay, calm down.
But over the last few years, this space is playing a bigger and bigger role in elections, whether it be news-focused videos on demand, podcasts, or live streaming. But then, next up in the news, if you have a lot of crypto...
This guy said, "How is Asmon racist?" It's a good one. No, that's... I don't know, man. Maybe because he has this notion that there are inferior cultures to begin with, and that some of those inferior cultures deserve to be genocide. I had a tweet specifically on this, actually. I said, where the fuck was it? I was chirping a bunch, but Asmon apparently was mad because this account, Queen in Yellow, that I retweeted, also posted about Asmon and his mom or something, like something heinous, something that I wouldn't say, right? Like, there are a lot of edgy accounts out there, and I engage in edgy commentary as well. But like, this is the type of stuff that's like personal, so I don't really entertain it. But in any case, Hasan is retweeting people calling me mom murdering cockroach. He's calling Tectone a generational familial obligation to rape. So the second part of that, like saying Tectone has a generational familial obligation to rape, that's a banger. Like, that's funny. I guess you're just mad because you didn't come up with that. I don't know. So I retweeted this and said Palestinians are an inferior culture that deserves genocide, promotes the AFD, wanted to dress up like Ash Ketchum and stream a deportation right along with ICE, demands I get banned, defends Tectone, but I'm the villain because I retweet someone who was mean to him on a separate tweet. Crazy. That's not what Asman said. What did Asman say? From today, I've never seen the politics tag. It's not supposed to be on here, chat. It's not supposed to be on here. There's a sensitive information tag that he has to click on. Ethan did that too. There was some dude you retweeted, but in his history, I guess he was harassing Ethan or something. Bro, Ethan is the dude who harasses me every day. What are these people doing? Like, they love saying shit like, oh, Hasan hates taking accountability. He's allergic to accountability. It's like, bitch, what are you doing? The fuck do you mean? Man, also, Asmongold and Ethan both follow my main stalker account. Okay, but if Asman says the same thing as the U.S. government, yes, but did Asman ever say outright he's racist? My brain is incapable of linking words to concepts. Okay, but if Asman says the same thing as the U.S. government, is it even sensitive information? It's just objective-based truth. True. I mean, that is unironically how people fucking feel about this. Like, you just nailed it, though. That is how they fucking operate. Well, they'll be like, what do you mean? The American government? I'm just repeating what the American government is saying. Okay, so am I, apparently, because Donald Trump was like, the Houthis are awesome and they're brave and great warriors. Okay, he went way further than I ever did. So I guess it's base time now. What happened? And if you want to understand the mentality, of like the average person who doesn't understand politics, but the average, I'm going to dip my tippy toes into the realm of political discourse. Okay. Look no further than this back and forth I had with Mudahar. Now, you might know Mudahar as the sweaty dude who fucking talks about, I don't know, niche Reddit subcultures or the dark side of the internet, stuff like that. Well, Mudahar apparently has been also chirping about how dangerous it is that I'm doing commentary on this platform. The more I see of Twitch, the more I'm surprised how Amazon hasn't cracked down on its leadership at all. Ticking time bomb. Okay, the understander of political discourse. Now, why is he saying that? He's saying that because he wants me to get banned and he wants to like stress. He wants to get his audience to also get fucking agitated and stressed out and push for me to get banned again, to get deplatformed again. Okay, your knowledge on India, Pakistan is like Mudahar. Okay, brother. The platform he's on, I said, YouTube, has a less strict application of terms of service for political commentary. The litter of Nazis on there. This motherfucker's constantly chirping about Twitch because I'm explaining why the Houthis are implementing a blockade against Israel's genocide. Okay? Then he replied to that and said, I'm actually speaking about the glorification of terror groups, something I know for a fact isn't allowed under the YPP, as I've assisted creators who were flagged for having ISIS jokes on their videos years ago. First of all, this doesn't mean you're knowledgeable about any kind of politics whatsoever. And this also doesn't mean you're knowledgeable about geopolitics. It doesn't mean you're knowledgeable about anything. This just means Iran. That does not mean you are a terrorist. That's insane. That's an insane reason to be like, oh, you're a terrorist. Sorry. You are against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in your own country because KSA has its own interests in your region. Like has its own interest in your country. And you are against that. Sorry, you're a terrorist now, is a psychotic reason to fucking decide that a militancy that is up until recently only involved in a civil war in his own country is psychotic. Okay? There are many ridiculous designations, I agree. This specific designation has merit decided by numerous countries, even countries who aren't friendly with each other, he says. Again, can this man have an honest discussion without name-calling like a child? Yeah. They listed them as terrorists in December 2024, Lamau. Yeah, they're fucking... Yeah, Canada's designation is also ridiculous. So, regardless, by the way, the designation of them being a terror organization also unironically, in the United States of America, will not stop you from being able to talk about them. Okay? And it should not stop you from being able to talk about them. Yeah. I remember when these types of anti-HW slop commentary YouTubers were pro-free speech. Now they're pro-censorship, social justice warriors for Israel. They were never for free speech, but it is so crazy to be anti-speech, but at the behest of Israel. Okay? It is so crazy. It is so insane to be like, no, you can't talk about the Houthis, even if they are doing something that is against Israel and you consider that to be positive. You are not allowed to say that, because that's what this is. Okay? That's literally what this is. My position on the Houthis is not like, oh, they're fucking awesome across the board, their domestic affairs are great, or they're not homophobic, or whatever the fuck, right? My position on it is very clear, okay? In terms of resisting against Israel committing a genocide, their blockade on the Red Sea is just. Their blockade on the Red Sea is good, okay? You should be able to say this. You should be able to say this. It is ridiculous that the likes of Mudahar and many others, these apolitical, free speech, anti-cancel culture content creators, are all losing their minds at this commentary where they go, how dare you do that? How fucking dare you say that? What's the alternative? That we're not allowed to talk about this at all? Is that a world that you want to live in? That's not, I don't know. I don't think that's an appropriate thing to advocate for. Anyway, they actually don't care, Hassan. They just want you deplatformed. I know, but that's, what do you want me to do? Not address how fucking inconsistent and incredibly hypocritical this shit is? Like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just sit around as they fucking constantly churn out and like whip up their fan bases into actively trying to deplatform me. Anyway, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop pointing out this fucking ridiculous idea, especially because these people have no understanding. Notice how he didn't respond to anything here except the American designation. Where does this designation come from? It comes from America. Who is the real reason why the Houthis were ever placed on a terrorism list? America. And that was already at the time when Donald Trump did this in 2020, okay, on his way out, that was already a controversial decision because it actually limited humanitarian aid from going into Yemen at a time when it was critical, at a time when it was a necessity. The al-Houthi family were already sanctioned by the United States of America. The al-Houthi family also did not actually participate in any sort of fucking global network of trade. They're in Yemen, okay? So they didn't even end up sanctioning anything serious. All they did was implement a further blockade upon the Yemen population, the civilian population that was starving due to the famines that were created by the Saudi Arabian government. How did they do that? With what weapons did they do that? I might add, our weapons. How else did they do that in Yemen? Oh, that's right, through Al-Qaeda, an actual internationally designated terror organization. Looping all of these guys up and being like, well, that's just like making jokes about ISIS. Like, no, it's not the same as making jokes about ISIS. Perhaps that's the reason why I don't make jokes about ISIS, actually. Perhaps that's the reason why you could tell I'm not a fan of ISIS or Al-Qaeda. Like, this is my job. I don't go to your fucking job. I don't go tell you what to do with a Steam Deck. You know what I mean? What is this? Like, if I were to tweet constantly about like Mudahar's Steam Deck reviews are ass, he doesn't understand how to operate fucking Linux or whatever, everyone would make fun of me. Everyone would be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know anything. Shut the fuck up. Stay in your own goddamn lane, politics, man. But when it comes to politics, you can just lean on the stupidity of the audience and just directly fucking yell at a guy who knows more than you do, while in the process of demonstrating your fucking idiocy. And people who are also just as idiotic will go, yeah, you did it, King. You fucking did it. Don't look at Muda's wife's liked tweets. I don't know. She liked some tweets a while ago that said that she was a Nazi or something. I don't fucking care. I don't care about his wife. I don't care about her ideology. It's irrelevant to me, okay? It's irrelevant to the point of contention. My argument here and my anger here and my resentment here is about the stupidity and the entitlement of these fucking dumbasses who just sit there and demonstrate their lack of intellectual curiosity on this process and yell at those who actually do approach the subject matter with a little bit more nuance than you would normally get. And they yell at motherfuckers like me for doing this. That's what's so crazy. They're like, no, it's not enough that I am intellectually incurious, but I want others to also not be intellectually curious either. How dare you? How dare you talk about the nuances and the differences in both methods and ideology of different kinds of militancies? How dare you not just say, these guys are just like ISIS, they're terrorists because America said so? What the fuck? If there is a comparison here to be made, it is between Israel and ISIS, who have aligned time and time again, okay? Goddamn. Or Al-Qaeda and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the United States of America in opposition to groups like the Houthis. Fuck. Ugh. Yeah, he said even countries that aren't allies, but the countries that aren't allies are Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, United States, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. And he's too fucking stupid to understand that when he says those countries that aren't allies, yes, they are allies, you fucking moron. They're aligned in dominating Yemen. They have a material interest in dominating Yemen. That is the reason why they are aligned in dominating Yemen. The idea that Saudi Arabia and the United States of America are not allies, if you were to fucking openly say such a stupid, I feel like a 14-year-old has a better understanding of politics than Mudahar when he says, oh, Saudi Arabia and America, they're not allies. UAE and America, they're not allies. Are you fucking kidding me? Where are they getting their weapons from, you fucking moron? Where are the planes coming from? Where are the guiding systems coming from? Where are the missiles coming from? From us. We sell it to them, and then they use it on Yemen. Holy shit. Of course there are allies. Saudi Arabia is up the United States' asshole, dude. Mohammed bin Salman will wear American leadership like a fucking glove sometimes. He just shoves his ass up the American leadership and do this so they yap. What do you mean they're not allies? Please have Avi Shlaim on. I would love to hear him dismantle Ethan's Hasbara. We're working on it right now. But, like, the reality of the matter is it doesn't matter to these people. It doesn't matter that, like, you know, well-established scholars and historians directly are at odds with them because they don't care. And they know that they don't have to care because those are just some dumb fucking nerds, okay? Whereas YouTubers can tackle this issue from the point of drama. And a lot of dumb fucking Americans only care about the drama angle of it all. That's it. It is incredibly difficult to get the average American to respond to this stuff with the intellectual depth necessary to even scratch the surface and develop a deeper understanding. And the reason why they yell at me so much is because I am capable of doing that for many people. Many of you have done that. Many of you gone through that journey. They consider that to be radicalization. It is literally post 9/11 hysteria. We are back and firmly in that kind of rabid Islamophobic hysteria now. It is so psychotic. I thought maybe we were above this shit. Turns out we are certainly not above it. This is literally like, hey, why are we invading Iraq? How dare you say that, you fucking terrorist? That is all this is. Hey, why have we dropped 4 F-18 fighter jets in the process of bombing Yemen, the poorest country on the planet? You fucking terrorists, how dare you fucking say that? You love terrorism, terrorism. This is literally what happened after 9/11, okay? All of those people that we now look back at fondly for protesting against the decisions that the government was making and demonstrating the social courage necessary to speak truth at a time when everyone was immediately hostile to you and wanted you to go to prison or wanted you to get killed. All of those people that we look back and go, wow, Jon Stewart, he really nailed it, huh? Like those guys, they were literally speaking out against the American government at the time. Oh, anyway, yeah. And also here, a single picture destroying decades of Western propaganda on terrorism. A made-up label weaponized selectively against adversaries until they're either destroyed or become allies. As Chomsky once said, if they do it, it's terrorism. If we do it, it's counterterrorism. I mean, this guy literally, like 6 years ago, was beheading people, okay? Like directly beheading people. And now he's offering kissy poos to Macron. How the fuck did that happen? We remain committed to bringing the leading AQS figures, Al-Qaeda and Syria figures in HTS to justice. Stop this terrorist, Mohammed al-Jablani. I think he still might be on the terror watch list, by the way. Like, how the oh my God. Anyway.
Say that.
I still have some difficulty believing with my own eyes that Abu Muhammad al-Jilani, a man who when I was a teenager was a leader of an al-Qaeda branch and wouldn't show his face on camera, is now meeting with Macron as any other state leader would. Remember, they don't do this kind of shit. They don't do this for like actual national militancies that are seeking out emancipation from our foreign allies like Israel, okay? They won't do that. But as long as you declare allegiance to Israel, then you can do this. Then you can just go out there and parade around. Oh, bro, people are so funny. He's like, dude, you don't understand. He went to Iraq to fight the U.S. insurgency. Okay, dude. You know, couple beheadings in the process. Bro, you're talking about Al-Qaeda, man. What the fuck are you saying? Okay? Like, this is, listen, what they claim I'm doing, you're unironically doing right now. You are trying to whitewash someone who was a leader in Al-Qaeda. Like, hello? What are we doing? That's crazy. This is why this distinction matters. The distinctions that I put on when offering coverage to different kinds of militancy in the Muslim world, okay? Their ideology, their methods, their operations. Like, we have to fucking learn about this so that dumb fucks don't turn around and go, well, you know, he was just, come on, man, he just joined Al-Qaeda to defend against the United States of America. It's like, okay, my bad. See, another type of chatter that knows exactly what pisses me off is the chatter who's just like, I don't really care about what you're talking about right now. You need to enable subtitles in OBS like right now. I don't care. Just enable subtitles in OBS. Like the chatter who keeps spamming enable subtitles in OBS, or else like you hate deaf people. Like that chatter is exactly the type of chatter that pisses me off, okay? Not any of this like, Hasan, you're a terrorist. Hasan, you're this. Hasan, you're that. Hasan, you're going to get deported. Hasan, I hope you go to jail. I hope they kill you. You fucking love terrorism, all this shit. Like, I hear that every day. But you know what fucking pisses me off, dude? Motherfuckers who are like, you need to make more accommodations immediately. Oh, my God. Anyway, I'm done for the day. I'm too tired. I'm literally doing a half day. This is officially the half day, but it is entirely too late. It's 12 here, and I have not slept. I have not slept at all. I will be back tomorrow earlier. I think I'm going to probably start at like 10, if not 9 p.m. Pacific, because I can't make it this far. And there's so much news to cover, and I didn't get to any of it. I just did Pope Watch for a little bit. But I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow earlier. Peace.
The shadows trickling in has helped people hate. Sunny Los Angeles, California, says Hasan. The starlock to the starlock to the topic just begun. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. There he is again. Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. Reviewing the P.O. box. Uncle Uger's face. Sat in Discord agitprop. Great names take on break. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force. The whole left at your fingertips, Ane at your door. H3 crowded debate, the Young Turks online show. 3 full fucking years of this, plenty more to go. 90-day fiance talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A Trump rally live reaction on mass riot at DC. There he is again. Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. There